and bread. Give me flowers before I dead. Don't wait till I gone. You say I was nice like Father Ed. Just give me flowers before I dead. Before I dead. Before I dead. Give me flowers before I dead. I'm hungry right now. Will you feed me now? Will you recognize me now? When I finish my little mission here and my father tell me come home, you would not be able to help me there because I'll be standing alone. But if I'm hungry now, you could feed me, or you could wait till I starve to death. Then blow your nose while they're reading me. You are a G, you must stop me, damn disrespect. The ordinary people like me and you could be heroes too, yeah. The selfless sacrifices we make for a total stranger's sake. The ones we take for granted and we never appreciate. After they gone to the grave beyond, you know that it is too late. So leave no stone unturned. No effort must be spared. So give me flowers before I die. No procrastinating, and don't even say I dread. Just give me flowers before I die. Before I die, oh God. Before I die, you better give me flowers before I give me. Hey, hey, power, power. Hey, I'm standing here, firm and ready to fight a revolution. If this is a revolution, I said I got no fear, no, cause that the country heading for revolution. Another revolution, yeah. I know we got to make it some way, somehow. Let's build back this country. Got to do it now. Cause like politicians don't have no solutions. And if we don't get restitution, taking back all we properties, taking back we communities, taking back all we industries, building back all our we factories, taking back all our we money, taking back the youth stay out this country. Cause all the things that they took from we, I don't know about you, but I know we gave them the power. We gave them the power. We gave them the power. Hey, we give them the power. We give them the power. Oi, oi, oi. Ah, give them the power. We give them the power to make it right. We give them the power. We turn wrong and use the power to fight. We give them the power to rule. Not to make us fools. No wonder they're riding we backs like mules. 'Cause we'll give them the power. We give them the power. We give them the power. Hey, we give them the power. We give them the power. Oi, oi, oi. Power. Ah, give them the power. Hey.
Good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name's Sheldon Scott. I will be with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. Saying a special good night to those of you joining us locally, regionally, and internationally.
1917.
Good night to you, Neela and Namara.
Disagree.
Good night to you, Zoe and Zayla. Good night to you, Zalia.
We forgive them for the crimes.
Hope all of you have had a wonderful day at school today, that you've completed your homework and are organizing yourselves to go to bed. Yeah.
The late Morris Bishop said we should not give up.
Yeah, folks, we've got quite a lot to speak about tonight, so make sure you're locked in. Let me see the likes going up on the YouTube. Yeah, and on the Facebook, let me see the likes going up. Yeah.
We own empire.
Come on, folks, by the likes here, you're helping to spread it. You're helping to make sure that people get to see it. Nice. Good night to you, Joyce. Hope you're having a wonderful night tonight. Yes, folks, the WhatsApp is back up and running, so you can message me. Yes, and you will be able to call on the WhatsApp. Yeah, got it sorted out today. So the WhatsApp is back up and running. Let me say a special good night to Team NNP. Yeah. Hope that you all are having a fabulous night tonight. Senator Neelan Franklin, good night to you, bro. Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful night tonight. Wonderful young man, you know. Pretty soon we're going to have him on the program. He's going to have a chat with us. And all the different members are coming on one after the other, so we're going to have him on soon. Good night to you, Senator Katisha Douglas. Hope you're also having a wonderful night tonight. Carriacou, good night to you, bro. To the folks who are on Facebook, are you all having a problem? I know one person is telling me they're not getting audio on Facebook. So just hit me a message, let me know if there's an audio problem. I'm only seeing that for one person, so I don't know if it's that their audio is disabled, yeah? No, if you had that same problem with GBN News, that's your system. No, it's not Facebook, no. Ascending, yeah, you have to check your settings. Yeah, your audio is off on your computer. Yeah, everybody else is okay with their audio. Yeah, it's 9 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock.
Between a rock and a hard place in this modern time.
Saying a special good night to those of you listening via 91.9, 91.5 Real FM.
Give us a mind.
All listeners out there in Carriacou. Carriacou, they're going through the last lap about now, so.
Life rise up.
But for those of you that have been out for the day, you're taking a look at rest right now. Those of you that usually don't take part in the carnival celebrations,
The name of a brother.
we say a special good night to each and every one of you. Hope that you're enjoying.
They could be uplifting a sister for life progression.
Yeah, remember tomorrow is 2 things in one, eh?
Now when a man turn a big man, and
Tomorrow is Ash Wednesday.
but the reason they procrastinate.
So for those of the specific denominations of the Christian faith that partake in the particular activities of Ash Wednesday, tomorrow is Ash Wednesday.
Mind talk about places that they could never be. Ordinary mind talk about,
And tomorrow I think this is Valentine's Day as well. Yeah, so Valentine's Day, Ash Wednesday.
but wouldn't mind speak about ideas. A great mind speaks philosophy. The mind is such a spiritual force.
And folks, I want to test out the WhatsApp line, so I need somebody to give me a call.
You are a
Yeah, somebody give me a call on the WhatsApp line right about now. That's 440-7377 on the WhatsApp. Yeah, give me a call now. Let me test it out. Make sure everything is working okay there.
Now when you sit in a state of idleness, that making your mind simple. Now all you
Good friends listening via We Noise Radio, heard you all had some snowfall up there in the US, yes, in particular in New York, yeah.
different sizes.
Hearing that you also had some snowfall.
To uplift and elevate those around me with tremendous grace.
Come on, folks, let's see the likes and the shares go up there. Yeah, share and like and share.
Away from his, because I say, poor man will gossip. illiteracy.
Also, if you're not yet subscribed to the YouTube page, you need to do so.
That they could never be.
Yeah, so in case you're not subscribed, you need to subscribe.
Events and personalities, but wouldn't mind speak about ideas, and great mind speaks philosophy.
All right, so let me see if I can get this call. Yes, let me just see if I can get this call on the YouTube. Hello, good night.
Yeah, Sheldon, you're sounding good on the three channels.
All right, great. And it
You're on
seems
Facebook load, you're on YouTube load, you're on WFM load too. So I hear you good.
okay, great. And I'm hearing you clearly on WhatsApp, so it's working proper.
Alright, let it call.
Nice,
All right,
beautiful.
Papa, yeah.
Thank you. All right. Yes, indeed. So the WhatsApp is working properly. I just wanted that little test to make sure that it's working properly. So yes, it is working properly now. Now it's even working better than it was working before. Yeah, I installed a new version, everything. So we're good to go. Right. Yes, indeed, folks. And we're going to open the phone lines, but we're going to have a discussion in relation to the issue that you spoke about. Because one of the things that I found over the past few months, yeah, not just with what took place over the weekend with that fake video that was put out with Donald Trump and so, but outside of that, over the past few months, I've been seeing lots of stuff that has been sent out that is being circulated, lots of stuff that's being forwarded to me as true, that due to the fact that I've been involved in technology for an extended period of time, I could take just one look at it and tell you immediately, hey, that's fake. Yeah, that's fake. You could see, I know what to look for. I could look at it and tell you, hey, that is not real, that's fake, that's computer generated, that is artificial intelligence at work, and so on. Yeah, so we had to have a broader discussion in relation to that tonight. But we'll take your phone calls at the beginning now. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. You can call us on the WhatsApp. You can call us directly. And you can call us on the overseas line. So we are taking your calls. Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Sheldon. That wrongs about doing up True Blue down there. So Eric Matthew Gary, Expo 69, he built that wrongs about there. So Eric Gary called that was Expo 69. Now I hear they saying they're giving it the name Carriacou wrongs about. Carriacou, Expo 69 was long before Carriacou. So how come they come naming it now Carriacou wrongs about? I want to know. Thank you.
All right. Now, let me say here, I listened to the news tonight. I got that part of the news before I got to the studio tonight. I did hear them speaking in relation to the naming of a Carriacou roundabout. They stated, that is the Independence Celebrations Committee, right? They stated that there are two possible locations. So they have recommended Upper Lotus Lane, in other words, by the Governor General, what some of us call Governor General roundabout. That was being suggested as one. The other suggestion that is being made is the True Blue roundabout, to make either one of them Carriacou roundabout. I don't know how that plays into the 50th Independence celebrations of Grenada. I may have to relook at one of their presentations that they did in relation to this. I must confess, I did not look at their presentation in relation to it, but I know that they've had an open thing where people can suggest. So it's like people are voting for which one of the roundabouts would be named the Carriacou roundabout. So in this instance, it is not a situation that the people have taken on their own and decided to name it, but they have suggested that that is one of the possible locations for the Carriacou roundabout. They're going to do it up and dolls it up and all sort of thing as a Carriacou roundabout. I think they're going to have all the flags, everything there. That location or the one up by Governor General residence. So people, it is open for people to vote on, to suggest and say, well, okay, I prefer the one up at Lotus Lane, and other people to say I want the True Blue. What I did hear on the news report, was that they said, what I did hear on the news report is that they said most of the people who have voted so far in relation to it have voted for the true blue roundabout. Yeah, most of the people have voted for the true blue roundabout. Right? That is what I've heard. How they are going to say that that is the location or so on, they've made their case. I have not looked, so I can't go further in explaining on this. I have not looked at the presentations that they made as to why that particular location was suggested. Yeah? Probably I may need to do that tonight when I get home, or early in the morning, somewhere around 4 or 5 in the morning, take a look at it, or sometime during the day tomorrow, and then I'd be able to speak on that one more. But as to why they're looking to name that and thing, I'm not clear on it. All right? 440-7377. That's 440-7377. And at roughly 8:30, we're going to start the discussion in relation to artificial intelligence and so on. And there's something else I have to tell you about things happening.
Instead of vision, a lot of people live in dreams and love to expatiate. They love to talk about man-made creation, so their life is on wait. Most of their thoughts is based on fiction and not reality. So I wrote this song to let them know they must change their mentality. You spend all your time with your mind being carnal and does not have a clue. Creating a
So 347-329-3101, 440-7377. You can call directly or you can call via WhatsApp, and you hear the WhatsApp clean, the WhatsApp coming through fast. So here, no sticking with the WhatsApp, no.
for that, my friends, ordinary mind. Oh, mine will gossip.
Good night, Officer Mary.
Simple mind. Talk
I think you shall be seeing Winston anytime soon. Yes, all right.
ordinary
Good night, Matthew and Patricia.
and personality.
Hope you all are having a wonderful night tonight.
About ideas, a great mind speaks philosophy. I've tried my best for my mind to be good.
Richard, good night, bro.
That is why you could never get me to sit and
Ian, out there in Canada, special good night to you.
to be done. I will get up and do it without hesitation. That is why I'm walking so.
Mrs. and Mr. Macphail, a special good night to both of you.
If artists use their mind, there would be more focus, knowledge and understanding.
So let me just start now anyway, because I realize we're not taking the calls yet. Right, okay. Now, I've recognized over the past, and good night to our St. Lucian friends who have joined us tonight. Over the past few months, there have been several things that I've been seeing that have been popping up on the timeline and so that are based on artificial intelligence. Now, some people, you hear AI and you hear people talking about artificial intelligence. What it is, in the simplest way to explain it, is like this. They have created now programs. Yeah, programmers and so on. They've created programs now that can basically mimic human behavior. Yeah? It can mimic human behavior. So they've created software. They've created applications on a computer that can replicate the human voice. So all they need to do is someone can take a 10-second clip of my voice. All they need is 10 seconds. And they are able to take that and they are able to have my voice saying whatever they decide they want to say. And we have a caller online. Let's take the calls while we can. Hello, good night.
Yeah, Brother Sheldon, good night.
Hi, good night, sir. Go right ahead. You're live.
From 1974 to 2024, I believe, Sheldon, that will be the first independence celebration where the poor people in the country do benefit. Because when independence celebration, people, let's say, like, foreigners came, Grenada in the diaspora came, come. They spend money, the poor people benefit. But what you find happening now, some of the people that plan to make a good sale, who want to get a loan in the bank to sell some chicken, to sell some drinks, so they can make extra money. As a thief of a night, they get a license. and say they can't do nothing. They can't play no music. Alright, so instead of where the poor man gonna make a little money at day of independence celebration to help themselves and the family, you deprive them from that. So that who benefit from that is those who have already or have already and they have what they want, and the poor man who depend to make a little money from the celebration, there is nothing for him. So the poor man don't benefit from that independent celebration. Only them who the organizers and those who have already a benefit. I go say it for the poor people. That could be the worst independent celebration they got through. Yes, the day of the celebration was a good show, but who benefit from that? They don't benefit from it. So, Brother Sheldon, that's my
All right, thank you so very much. 44073, yeah, you can call at any time. Now, there are many sites freely available on the internet right now where folks can go and you can create images. In fact, over the independence period, I was seeing some artificially intelligence generated images. In other words, you type what you want to see, and the more information that you feed into that program, the better the results come out. And I was seeing some stuff coming out, and some people were there saying, hey, look, this photo and this person, look, you must commend this person for this wonderful piece of artwork and so. And in some instances, the people are not even admitting that, hey, I didn't sit and paint this. This was created through artificial intelligence. So they were sitting there taking praises for stuff that I could look at and in seconds tell you that's artificially generated. Yeah, so a lot of the stuff we saw in the Grenada colors, there was one going around of a bus fully in the Grenada national colors and so on. All of those things. Yeah, so you can actually type in the information in these different programs and so on, and they will create an image for you. Yeah, there are ways to tell, because in many of the images you would realize that the fingers look funny. So if you're seeing a photo and you're thinking that photo ain't real, man, that man ain't really there. Like there was one that they had going around with they're saying that, oh, this is the new way people bury people in the United States and so, and they had them in the coffee table and so on. Artificial intelligence. Yeah, and you can tell by several things. One, for some reason, when a photo is generated by artificial intelligence, for some reason, all of the programs have this error. They tend to make mistakes when it comes to people's fingers. So sometimes a person, you would realize that it's 6 or 7 fingers, or the fingers look long and funny. Yeah, that's an indication that it is generated by artificial intelligence. Another thing you may find, the eyes looking kind of funny, or the face look slightly distorted, like one eye a little higher than the other one, it looks slightly distorted, that sort of thing. That's another indicator that it's artificial intelligence created. So you have to be very careful, yeah, with what you accept as real these days. Yeah, I've even seen over the past few months, I've seen live programs going on Facebook that these people have gotten so good that they can actually take this video of me in studio here right now, and they can put somebody else's face on it, and they can change the voice so that somebody would be actually sitting there talking, but who you think is there is not there. Yeah, that's the level they've gotten to with artificial intelligence right now. So it's no longer that you have to put somebody and thing a set of makeup and so on. They can just put a person against a screen, and they can make that person into whoever they want to make into it. Years ago, that used to be things that they used to make films like Terminator and all these things. Back in the days, they had to spend millions of dollars. These days, some of the things that they did there, some of the special effects that they did there are freely available on the internet and in some of the apps that you see going around. So you have to be very careful. The dangerous part of this is what we saw over the weekend. That individuals with nothing but malintent, in other words, they had an intention to create confusion in the minds of Grenadians. And they put out this video with Donald Trump saying all sorts of nonsense about Dr. Mitchell and so on. In truth and in fact, there are various sites that they can go to on the internet, and they could create one of that between while I'm talking now. They could create that. All they have to do is type in what they want Donald Trump to say, and you would see an image of Donald Trump with his voice. You would hear him saying those things, as you saw with that video. Did an interview with Donald Trump ever take place where he spoke about Dr. Mitchell or anything Grenada related? No. It did not. But you had literally loads of people outside there who were believing. Yeah, because they don't know, and you can't blame them. They cannot perceive, they cannot tell the difference between artificial intelligence and what is real. Yeah, they can't do it. Right? So there's so much of this going on out there right now. And in fact, there are many people here in Grenada who have been caught with some of these things. For instance, there was one with one of these pop stars that was out there, these rappers, Nicki Minaj. Every now and again, that Facebook page would pop up and is running a live, and she's saying, comment under there and I'll give you $500. Yeah, and get a chance to win $500. And many people were doing it, not knowing it was not really Nicki Minaj. The voice was hers. Yeah, the mannerisms of the person there were hers, because they took a video that she had from before and they manipulated it. So you've got to be careful, because a lot of the things that you're receiving on your mobile right now through WhatsApp and even through Facebook and Instagram, etc., a lot of the things that you are receiving are fake. There's no need to send it to me, my brother. I'm pulling up my phone. Yeah. So a lot of the things that they are sending out now and you're seeing going around are fake. So you have to be very, very careful. Yeah? Very, very careful with what you are accepting out there as real. Yeah? From pictures to videos to audio. You have to be very careful. That's why if I play a piece of audio here, I can tell you which event that particular statement was made. That is why I can say this took place on the 17th of July 2015 at Progress Park. Yeah? That we are able to tell you exactly where and when something occurred. And it's very important to be able to do that, because especially with how some people intend, and they're showing their intent, and this is just the first in many more to come, that they are going to be doing. Yeah, and we have a caller. Let's take the caller. Hello, good night.
Hey, Sheldon, here.
Hey, good night, yeah.
Interesting topic, right? And I'm glad you're edifying Grenadians about that. Because in reality, there's three segments to this artificial intelligence thing. There's CGI, computer-generated images, and there are deepfake. The deepfake ones is what you see with the presidents and people that speaking in their full body, right? And the problem with that, with the deepfake, is that I've been watching online that a set of school children been getting in problems with bullying. So they imposing heads on naked bodies of school children. So they're taking young girls and putting the heads, imposing the body on the heads with defects. And as a result, we are seeing children committing suicide because of these things. So we have to be very careful, and I think the CSAT have to come out more and edify the nation more, either have a 2-hour program or a 4-hour program, and really edify the nation on this thing, because trust me, my simple cell phone I can do this thing on. This cell phone I have in my hand right now, I can do that on my cell phone, and it's very dangerous, and I think we should edify the public as much as possible. And I did see the videos. I saw the videos where Trump was talking about, well, the deepfake was talking about Deacon, and I saw the one we're talking about Dr. Mitchell. Mm-hmm. We have to be very careful, and to the older heads that is not tech savvy, please try to be edified about this, because it is very dangerous, very, very dangerous. And for the school children, imposing heads on different bodies and naked bodies and such, it will cause a problem in schools. That's my real take on it, Taylor.
All right, no problem, brother. Yeah, and we're getting to that as well, because that is part of the problem now, that it's being used by not only children but other people to implicate people into things that they were never in. So it's placing people places they never were, yeah, and all this sort of thing. So you have to be very careful with what you take as real. Yeah, you have to be very careful with what you accept as real. All right, and I'll give you all an example in a little while. Yeah, I'll give you all an example in a little while. I'm trying to get one of the sites here so that I can show you all some of exactly what we're speaking about here and just how easy it is to do that. Yeah, just how easy it is to do that. Even, and it's causing a problem for many of the teachers in the schools right now, that when they ask a child to do a report and that child comes with a report, the problem that they are having is that child, they are not sure if the child actually wrote the report or if it is a situation where that report was written through ChatGPT or one of the other sites. Yeah? They are not sure if that is the situation. So they have to be very, very careful. They have to be very, very careful with what they accept. And I'm just trying to get one of the sites up here so I can show you exactly what has been taking place and how very easy it is these days. And that's why sometimes I say, you see some speeches being read out there and you realize, nah boy, that speech is that speech is a ChatGPT written. Yeah, so you have to be very careful. There are many instances where, as the last caller mentioned, children in the US and so, they have actually done self-harm because others decided that they're going to use this software that's available right now and they're going to basically say anything about them and do different things and so on, make them look like they were involved with somebody they were not involved in, that they were involved in a relationship they were not involved in and so. But you have to learn basically how to be able to tell the fake from the real. Yeah, it's very difficult. It's not an easy thing. But a lot of folks, you have to learn how to tell the fake from the real. And I'm going to pull it up. I'm trying to find the page here so that I can pull it up and let you all see what we're talking about. But outside of that, I want you all to know something. And I want to ask a question here of the government of Grenada. I want to ask a question of them. A little off the AI, we're going to come back to it. But I want to ask a question of the government of Grenada right now. Is it or is it not true that the government internet system has been hacked? That bad actors have hacked into the government of Grenada's, including the Ministry of Finance, yeah? And that at this point in time, you all are still not sure how much damage has been done, and that there is a very high likelihood that ransomware, and for those of you that may not understand when I say ransomware, I'll explain shortly that ransomware has been installed throughout the government system. Yeah? So what hackers do, when I mention ransomware, this is what I mean. What hackers do, they hack into your computer or your mobile phone, etc. And they can do two things. They can download all your information. So they would have all your pictures, all your voice notes, all your text messages, everything. They can do that. They can hack in, and it's much easier than a lot of people lead you to believe. Yeah? So they would do that, and they would download all your information. Now, according to the information they have from you, they may use that to blackmail you. So they may say, I will expose your text messages and your photos, your videos, whatever. I will expose that. And they try to blackmail you to pay them so that they would not release it. Yeah? And let me just issue a warning here. To any of you that is happening to or has happened to, don't pay. Because even if you pay, they are going to release it. Yeah? The other one is ransomware, where they install something. And that is why I continually tell you all, don't just be clicking on any and any links out there. Some of you go and you're clicking on this link and that link, and you're clicking on any and any link. when somebody sends something to you, even if it is a person you're sure you know, because you're not sure if the person is the one behind the computer and in charge of that that profile. In fact, I know, for instance, Mr. Killer's Facebook page with over 100,000 followers, that was hacked. He doesn't have access to that again. I know of another individual who has a Facebook page with 40,000 followers, a local person right here, 40,000 followers on their Facebook page. It has been hacked. They can't access it again. You may get a message from that page and you say, well, yes, I know individual A or I know individual B. And you go and you click and you open it and it infects your device, be it your mobile phone or your laptop or your desktop computer and so on. Right? Now, ransomware locks up your computer. In other words, you can't access anything on it. You can't access any files. You can't access any documents. You can't access anything on the computer until you pay the people who locked your computer. So from what I am picking up, there is the possibility that there is no ransomware on the government system. So I'm not sure if it's the Ministry of Finance or wherever it is. So I'm just saying to the government, if what I'm hearing is true, emergency meeting, all kind of thing, if what I'm hearing is true, at least tell the Grenadian people now. Yeah? Because from what I'm also hearing, there's a case where other institutions may have also been compromised. Yeah? And that may include financial institutions. So those of you that have online banking and so, pay attention to what's going on. Pay attention to what's going on. Just in case you start to see whatever little kakada you have inside, they start to disappear. Peace, and you go. Pay attention to what's going on. Yeah? But if it is so, if what I'm hearing is so, and the government system has been compromised by hackers, I think it's important. Just let the Grenadian people know. Yeah? So I'm just saying that. Nice? Good. Right. Folks, I just wanted to show you an instance. For instance, let me see if I can pull this one up here. ChatGPT. Right? So this is what ChatGPT looks like. Right? And with ChatGPT, you can ask ChatGPT to do something for you and ChatGPT will do it. For instance, if I ask ChatGPT to now write me a 500-word essay on Grenada. Right? Let me just spell Grenada correctly. Nice. Right here. Grenada. Right? Write me a 500-word essay on Grenada. So I've just typed that in. And let's see how long it's going to take ChatGPT to write that 500-word essay on Grenada. You understand what you're facing here? So imagine the teacher who is at school and a child brings this into them. Yeah, and don't think they don't know about it and I'm showing them something new tonight. They know about it already. Yeah? So there it is, a 500-word essay, right, on Grenada. And it took what? How much seconds did that take? Right? And we now have a 500-word essay on Grenada in seconds. In seconds. It didn't even take 20 seconds. Something that in our days, we had to go in the library and we had to go through the history books and we had to go and read and we had to go and investigate and we had to sit down with pen to paper and write out. And those who had, you understand? Back in the days when you had typewriter and you had to sit down with the typewriter and a pillow because you don't want to keep the neighbors up with the click, 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 shh, click, 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 click all night. Right. So yeah, I know about all them things. Nowadays, they just type in, write me a 500-word essay on Grenada. And if you think that's a thing, okay. Write me a 500-word essay on Grenada in patois. Yeah? And let's see if it's able to do that. Yeah, let's see if it's able to do that. And if it's able to do that, well, and there it is. A 500-word essay on Grenada in patois. Don't ask me to try and read the patois. I ain't understand them thing. But I'm just showing you this so you understand some of what you're up against right now, because there are people that have the intention of using these things in a negative way. Yeah? In a negative way. And you can basically ask ChatGPT to write anything. Anything. You can ask them to write an essay on anything. They have put so much information to it, and they have created this software that the more information you put into it and the more questions you ask it, it helps the software learns from you. So it even could write things in the way that you speak and so on after a while, because it learns from you. It learns how you speak, it learns how you write, and it starts to write and speak just the way you do. So after a period of time, all you have to do is just give it the simple prompt and it would write something just as you. Yeah? And there are other things here. For instance, let me see if I can pull this one up. Let me see. Yeah, let me see if I can pull this one up here. This is another artificial intelligence generator right now. And you see a family there in white suits. Okay. I want a family on the beach. We're going to ask it to create from scratch a family on the beach wearing, let me see, a family on the beach wearing Grenada national colors. Well, it might not know Grenada national colors, but we could state what the colors are. So a photo of a family on the beach wearing red, green, and yellow suits with palm trees and a boat. Let me make sure we spell everything properly. Trees and a boat in the background. Right? So we're not asking it to search the internet for that. We're asking that software to create that. Yeah? To make that picture for us. To create that picture from nothing. To just put different images and create a picture. Yeah? Like that. Sometimes it would get it correct. Sometimes it gets something close to it. But there it is. Yeah? There it is. So it's the family. I told you sometime you just have to watch the eyes. The eyes, you could see there's a little something with the eyes on the little one here. And so sometimes that is how you're able to tell that it's artificial intelligence created. Yeah? Red suit ain't looking bad there at all. You know? But that's just to show you what we are up against right now. That's just to show you how artificial intelligence works right now. That within a couple seconds, not even minutes, not a couple hours, to generate this thing, that it is able to do that in just a few seconds. It can do that. Yeah? So it's just to let you all know what people are up against right now with artificial intelligence. Yeah? Just to let you all know how easy it is. Because I had to do this, I had to say this, and I had to show some of this, because after what happened on the weekend there, where a lot of people see this thing and was just like, yeah, this is real. Yes, it's truth. And you see, the thing is that some people want to believe it. Some people just want to believe it because something negative. It's against Dr. Mitchell and so on. They're carrying a lot of hatred. I can tell you, Dr. Mitchell doesn't carry no hatred. That's why he could sleep good at night. He doesn't carry any hatred. Yeah? Every night he could lie down and sleep well. Comfortable. Yeah? That's a lesson that his mother taught him. Don't hate people. You might dislike what somebody do, but don't hate people. Yeah? But some of them, they hate so much that anything they could latch on to, they want to believe it. Anything that they could latch on to. So I'm showing you, I could do the one with the videos. I don't have that one on my system here. I don't have that one here. But there are sites that you can go to. You search the internet, you could find them. That you could go to and you enter the information and you could have any celebrity or so on saying what you want them to say. Or you could take a sample of somebody else's voice and you can put it in and you could have that person saying whatever you want to say. So all of that to say, we must be careful. That is why even if I get some information here, I always double check. There are certain sources I know operate like me, so I know they would double check before they send it to me. They would double check and so on and make sure. So they might send something to me now and I might just say, okay, let me throw that up there. But other than that, I'm very, very careful because I understand what is going on out there. That there's a lot of fake information that can be circulated. A lot of artificial intelligence generated stuff that is out there. And because I know things like ChatGPT is why I listen to certain speeches by different ministers and by the Prime Minister and so on. And I can definitely tell you that it was written using ChatGPT. In one instance, they actually forget to take out the markings when they send the speech out. Yeah, so you know what they are doing. So just saying that so you all know, be very careful. Folks, 440-7377, that's 440-7377. Let's take your calls. So again, Government of Grenada, please let us know. And don't try to lie for us, because, when I'm saying something, right? Let us know. What is the situation? Has the government network, the internet network, the intranet, whatever, has your network been infiltrated by hackers? And what is the present situation? Yeah, I know they have very competent people. Let me tell you all, Government of Grenada are some of the best technical people in the Caribbean and further afield. Yeah, some of the best, right? But when you're into this thing, there's always somebody somewhere along the line that will mess up, that will not follow the protocols in the way that you've set up. And it's going to cause a little leak into the system. So you want to know, is the Government of Grenada facing a situation where all their online files and so have been compromised and maybe locked down? And if so, what is being done right now to mitigate against that? Or is it a situation we're just waiting to hear ransomware and everything locked down and you're going to transact business and you can't do it and so on? What is the situation as obtains in relation to that right now? We need to know, all right? Nice, yeah, we really want to know. Let us know. Let us send out release for all kind of thing. Or let's send out release and call it back and send it out again. So let us know. Let us know what is taking place, yeah?
Rise them up out of poverty. Rise them up. Please don't let them suffer.
440-7377.
Rise them up from humiliation.
347-329-3101. And of course, you can call us on WhatsApp on 440-7377.
That soil will be going as green as grass. Cause every word that the prophet had prophesied, it shall surely come to pass. Cause if you walk up a sweat in my vineyard, by your sweat you shall eat your bread.
Well, how all these online sleuths all of a sudden know who the hackers are? We asking the government if they have hackers that have infiltrated their system, eh? Nice. We're asking them.
The same song again.
Let me warn you all again, because it's something that I tend to stay away from. And a lot of people send these things to me, like, for instance, on New Year's, they send this message to you saying, click on this to see the message. No, I ain't clicking on nothing. No, I don't care if I know you, how good I know you, how long I know you. I'm not clicking on anything. You see those little messages they send around and say, click on this to see a Christmas greeting from so-and-so, or click on this to see a New Year's greeting from. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Some people might get it. Click on this to see a Valentine's. I ain't clicking on nothing. Yeah? No, I'm telling on it straight. Don't send it because I ain't clicking on it. Yeah?
But don't ever try to be greedy.
If they have to send, you could send a card or something, yes, send a card or so. And even that, you may not know is kind of dangerous too, but you could send a card and different things like that, yeah?
Join some kind of program.
Also, recently, the CSIRT, and I do agree with my friend, CSIRT has been doing an excellent job and a lot of work. Mr. Jervis Dabrio and his team, they have been doing a lot of work. I hear him on various radio programs, not just one radio program. I hear Jervis Dabrio on nearly all those morning programs and even programs during the day. You hear him calling and warning people. In fact, outside of what I'm hearing with the government service, I heard him speaking the other morning about a data leak. In other words, that bad actors out there, hackers out there, have got the passwords of many people on this island. Yeah, not just one or two, many people. I myself have had to be changing passwords and so. Because apparently they got my password, but because I had what they call two-factor authentication, they were not able to get into our system. All right, now I may have had to start a new Talking Points page and get a new Talking Points YouTube and all that sort of thing, because their intention was to get within the system and that then start to message people as though they're me. Yeah, so please make sure you change your passwords on your Facebook, on your YouTube, your Gmail, whatever, your email accounts. Make sure you change your passwords and you do so regularly. And please, don't use your children's name. Don't use your name. Don't use your parents' name and your date of birth and those sort of things. They are very, very easy for the hackers to guess. And some of you go online, and I'm warning you all because some of the behaviors is what causing some of the problems, eh? Some of you, and I'm saying you because I don't do it, go online and you see the little quiz on them on Facebook and different things like that. The hackers do these things to get your personal information. Yeah? So they may have a quiz there where you may enter the name of your children, where you may enter your date of birth. Yeah? And they utilize that information to try and guess what your password is. So those quizzes and so, you gain nothing by them. Leave them alone. You want to go and get a crossword puzzle. Do that. But the quizzes where you have to enter personal information, your spouse name or your girlfriend name or these kind of things, don't click on those things and don't enter information. The information, and you should realize the information you're entering there, in a lot of instances for some people is their password. They're entering the child name. So you have your child name and then you have, no, you have to be very careful. You have to be a lot more careful than that, all right? A lot more careful than that, because there are people out there, and here's what. Remember, a lot of people do online banking, and so your banking information is on your laptop or your desktop computer. It's on your mobile phone. If they can get into there, they can get your banking information and zero your account. Yeah? Know what I'm talking about, you know? I know people it happened to, yeah?
Hunger and frustration. Mr. Calypsonia.
So Mr. Jervis Dabrio has been doing a good job.
You know the good city.
Also, they have their Facebook page where they send out information and things like that.
Cause every word that the prophet had prophesied.
So the mere fact that many people in Grenada, including businesses, so those of you that have businesses and so, yes, a lot of you, your passwords are in the hand of the hackers. So you all need to go and change that as well.
A spiritual song again. The same song again. A lyrical song.
Yeah, so don't send them thing to me with this, click on it. So and so has sent a special. I ain't clicking on it. I tell you no, I ain't clicking. Yeah? The sites that these things are set up to, they are linked. Once you click, you immediately give access to a third party to all of your information on your device. Yeah? I'm sorry to be going so technical tonight, but I think it's important that people know. I don't want you to lose access to your Facebook account and you can't look at Talking Points. Don't want you to lose access to your YouTube and you can't look at Talking Points. But I also want you to be careful with what you take in and what you share. Because a lot of folks were sharing this thing over the weekend. And you had people that were cutting their neck, it's true. Again, In my view, a lot of them is because of hate. They just hate Dr. Mitchell. They don't want to hear nothing about, they hate him. But in a lot of instances, people were genuinely tricked by that. We have a call online. Good night.
Good night, Sheldon. Good night, Grenada, and my talking points family.
All right, sir.
Just to reiterate what you're saying, there's a movie out called The Beekeeper. It's a typical example of what you're referring to right now with Chat GPT and AI and the hackers getting into your system. So anybody who has the chance of looking at it, the first 5 minutes of the movie, you have to say more.
Mm-hmm.
Keep informing us because, we fall for anything. We don't stand for nothing, so we fall for anything. Not all of us, some of us. That's my contribution.
All right, thank you. The thing is that these people, 2 years ago, some of the things that you're seeing them doing now were not possible without some big computers with lot of memory and server space and all kind of thing. They were not able to do that. Now, the things that used to take 2 and 3 computers a whole week to generate, people doing with their mobile phone right now. The technology has developed that what you used to do and you had to take 2 computers and you had to leave it overnight, running overnight and so in an air-conditioned place for how much days to generate the computer-generated graphics and so on. Yeah, I remember back in the days when we were doing video production. Just 8-9 years ago, you're doing video production and using one of those Macintosh, those Mac Pro, the big one, the towers. That sometimes you are trying to render, you're trying to, after you finish, put everything together, you're trying to make it into a movie now. And you have to leave the computer overnight and go about your business. Because it takes that amount of time before it's finished generating the thing. And I just showed you all where we can generate images in seconds. Yeah? Where we can generate images in virtually seconds. Where we can generate speeches. Where we can generate essays. Where we can generate any of these things in mere seconds. Yeah? So we have to be careful. You can't just see things these days and believe that that is correct or that is real. Yeah? We can't just see things these days and take it for, yeah, that is real, or you hear something and you take it for real. We've got to be careful. We've got to be very, very careful. And the individual that called, the caller that just called was speaking about the Beekeeper movie. I saw the Beekeeper movie. Yeah? And what happened there is that the person had a pop-up that was saying that the computer infected with something. And you know why that happened? Because they clicked on something they should not have clicked on. So it was saying their computer infected with something. Call this number. You call that number. And when you call that number, it's one of the scammers. And we have a situation right now within the Caribbean, right here within the Caribbean, that there's one particular country, I wouldn't call the country name, but one particular country that they have a lot of people that making a living off of scamming people here in Grenada and other places. They're scamming them in getting vehicle. I was on the phone one morning and I got a WhatsApp message from a Pakistani number. And the Pakistani number that I got that message from said, "Good morning." They couldn't call my name because they did not know whose name. They were going through a list of numbers and they were just messaging. So they said, "Good morning. We realize that you're interested in purchasing a vehicle. So we've decided to contact you. We've got vehicles for sale." To which I immediately responded, "I never tell anybody I'm interested in vehicle. I'm going to take your screenshot and I'm going to put it up on my Facebook page and expose you. Because obviously it's a scammer." I said, "Oh, I wouldn't waste your time. Don't waste my time. Please ensure that you leave the people in this island alone, that you do not do it again. And to help with that, I'm going to put out a post with your number so that people know if they see a message from this number asking anything about purchase vehicles to not engage." Right? About 10 minutes later, I received a call from a regional phone number from within the Caribbean region of a person threatening that I put up a post and they're going to get police. So I said, well, how come somebody in Pakistan all of a sudden have a number from a Caribbean region? Because they're using what they call VPNs, virtual networks and so on. to give the impression that they're calling or they're messaging from other countries. So you have to be careful. I know of situations where one young lady, she lose nearly all her money for the month because somebody call her and tell her that she win some money, but she need to send money to clear the money. And she sent $700. Young lady have a little child to see after and so on. And she lost that money because she got tricked into, well, yes, we have this money for you. And they're taking picture and they're sending picture, a check and thing with you, with your name on it and so, And if you see how Japa the thing them does look, I know how people get in hold with this. But they're taking picture of check and they're sending the picture of the check to you and say so. And then when some people who have been tricked in these things go to Western Union or they go to MoneyGram, Western Union and MoneyGram always ask you the question, do you know the person you're sending this money to? Especially when they become suspicious. You're sending it to some part in Nigeria or so, or Pakistan or wherever. Do you know the individual? Have you spoken to? Have you seen this individual? And they even have tricks for that too. Because they will video call you and just do like they can't hear what they're saying. And sometimes, in order to play you, they will video call you, and when you answer, and you can't hear what they're saying, the typical human being, hey, I can't hear you. And then they take that video, and they call somebody with that video, and say, and you see the person who you think you're talking to saying, I can't hear you. And you go and you send money to somebody that does not exist. So MoneyGram and Western Union and so always ask the question, do you know the person that you're sending this money to? Have you met them before in person? Do you personally know them? Yeah? So that's the sort of thing that has been happening. There's one individual that lost their house here in Grenada through one of these scams, sending money for people that they do not know. They've been sending money to them. So we have to be very, very careful. Yeah? Online with people who sending messages, you win money from this, you win money. You ain't win no money, no. You never enter anything. You ain't losing nothing. Don't answer them. You don't have it now and you wouldn't have it after. What you would do is lose money. Don't bother to engage them and get back and just block them. You ain't win nothing. Samsung company have no money given out. Yeah? And you're seeing present government ministers and even members of the opposition, they copying and they making profiles just like this. And then they're messaging people and say, if you hear about the United Nations grant, the UN grant, or the special grant for this or that, the moment they send that, just block them. Because no government minister or member of the opposition is going to message you about any grant. Whether it's on WhatsApp, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Instagram, they will not do it. Yeah? There would be an announcement nationally and you would have the opportunity to go. Although these days if you're ZNP, you ain't go get. But you get the opportunity to go. Alright? Nice. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside.
Oh, Grenada, playing for Grenada.
And let me say a special good night to the Honorable Emlyn Pear and the Honorable Kate Skeeter Lois Peters. Ladies, you did an excellent job this morning on the To The Point program. Folks, if you didn't see them on the To The Point program this morning, you need to, after this program, go back and take a look. Nice.
The love I got down in me heart for my country.
They were excellent, especially speaking on behalf of those Immani trainees, because as we told you yesterday, those Immani trainees, they all have the expectation and the promise was made to them that they would receive $500. Not that they would receive $50, not that they would receive $150, not that they would receive $200 or $300. The promise that was made to those Immani trainees, all of them, were that Immani trainees would receive a $500 increase. That is the promise that was made to them. Yeah? That is the promise that was made to them by the present Prime Minister. Right? And I didn't think anybody would vex for the Immanis. They get in the 500. But all of a sudden now, the 500 has turned to, let me see, the 500 turned to something else, yeah.
Who is going to give them Immani's $500 increase in the new budget that's coming up?
Certainly not you, because right now, a lot of them upset, they vex, yeah, but anyway.
Who is going to give people 65 and over and people who are disabled or mentally challenged $200 increase in seed from the new budget?
Yeah, so while he qualified the payments under the seed, which is to the smallest section of people that are under the seed, but deserving, and we have no problem with them receiving it, right? When it comes to the Immani, and so this is what was promised to them. He did not say who is going to give up to 500. He didn't say who is going to give some 500 and some under that. The promise was all Immani trainees receiving an additional 500, innit? Yeah.
Who is going to give them Immani's $500 increase in the new budget that's coming up?
Not he. Let me play it again.
Who is going to give them Immani's $500 increase in the new budget that's coming up?
And all you hear them, yeah. Real clap and all kind of thing, yeah.
Who is going to give them Immani's $500 increase in the new budget that's coming up?
Yeah, certainly not you, because right now, we saw the letter yesterday that was sent to the trainees, where they are being told now that a mistake was made by giving them the 500 for the people in the Ministry of Finance. That a mistake was made by giving them the 500, and now it is a case where not that the money that was given in error has to be repaid, but that my goodness, that they're going to see a reduction when they get their salaries on Thursday. Yeah, I believe they're supposed to get their salaries on Thursday, so that they're going to see a reduction. Very unfortunate. And we have a caller on the WhatsApp. Hello, good evening. Hi, afternoon. Go right ahead. I'm quite fine. You go right ahead.
Okay. Sheldon, I am getting fed up with this back and forth thing. There is two main party in Grenada, Carriacou and Immani. Yeah? Everybody cannot vote NNP, everybody cannot vote NDC. Yeah? If the Prime Minister is doing, nobody don't hate the Prime Minister, because our Prime Minister, yeah? If the Prime Minister is doing something wrong, and they love our Prime Minister, they're going to let him know where he is wrong and what he's doing wrong. Yeah? The Prime Minister been in office for maybe going on 2 years. They don't reach, but going on 2 years. And the Prime Minister changed 3 acting Prime Minister already. What the Prime Minister of Grenada, Carriacou and Immani? Mr. P holds his program every day. He has 1 hour on the program. And he has 2 imbeciles what calls on that program all the time. And just behave out of control. They don't know what they're saying. They're saying all kind of stupidness. The Prime Minister promised all kind of things in his campaigning. The Prime Minister promised to build 500 houses in all districts and swimming pool. I never see a poor people build a swimming pool. All of us take the jump up, plap, 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 hand clapping. Did he start already? And you cannot say nothing what the Prime Minister said in his campaigning and he don't fulfill it. You cannot speak about it. They go jump on your neck. They want to hang you. Come on. Where are we going? Where are we going? This thing in intelligence about what they do, Trump do with Dr. Keith and thing. He do it with, if it's them or who put the vice also, he do with the Prime Minister also. So speaking about what they say about Dr. Keith, what they say about the next Prime Minister. So we have to stop that, we have to try to do better than that. Who is going to educate our children? What going on in the world today? Nobody have respect for nobody, not children, nobody. The smallest child causing all kind of big word. No respect for nobody. What is going on? Where we going? And nobody to control or to correct anybody. Everybody just lawless in Grenada now. The past, and this was never like that. All this kind of confusion and this kind of back, they have to stop it. We don't go nowhere with that. Too much of confusion. They have to stop it. Enough is enough, Sheldon. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you. 4407377. That's 4407377 Yes, you can call us on the WhatsApp, or you can call us directly, or you can call us, if you're out in North America, you can call us on 347-329-3101. Yeah. So I think the caller asked who is the Prime Minister right now. I think the acting Prime Minister right now is Honorable Andy Williams. Yeah, because I think the Prime Minister out again. I think he was out on the weekend. I think he come back and he gone again. So I think he is in St. Kitts. Yeah, he going up in St. Kitts right now. So he go be there for the next couple of days, etc., 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 etc. Right, yeah, so he's up there. But I was telling you all about the letter that was sent to the Immani trainees. Yeah, the letter that was sent to the Immani trainees. And yeah, this is the letter that was sent to the Immani trainees, right? Claiming that a mistake was made, but no mistake you make there. You said that you're giving the Immani trainees 500. Again, you didn't say you're giving them up to $500, which would have clarified the statement. People would have been able to say, okay, it's up to $500. And if it's up to $500, then all trainees would not have the expectation that they would be receiving an additional $500. They would know that it is on a scaled basis. Yeah? And the statement also takes in those trainees who are in the private sector. So you'd have expected that the trainees who are in the private sector would also receive an increase. But instead of that, instead of the increases taking place, we're hearing of decreases taking place for those trainees. That's what we're hearing about right now. So decreases for the trainees under the program. Yeah? And again, I continue to ask the question, why is it that every move that this government makes is always in detriment to the more vulnerable people amongst us? Yeah? Whether it was when they removed the 150 from the people under the seed program, yeah, the vast majority of whom have not received and will never receive the 200 increase because they decided that they're only giving that to certain categories of people under the seed program. Yes, they're needy, we understand, yes, so you can give it to them. But it has gotten to a stage that they have removed the vast majority of people under the seed program. They have not received and will not receive any increase. But outside of them, so that is one category of people that in need, that was getting something, and they took it away from them. After promising that they would leave it right there. They took it away from them. Yeah? And there are many other instances. Whether it's having to have the vendors in town making rigmarole running wrong, not knowing if they could come out and so on. Next thing you see, they come out and they put a table, and then they have to pick it up and move, and then somebody will come and tell them, well, we go take all those things and go up on the fort with it, so you better go, and they don't know what to do. It's poor people. And then again, when it's the hairdressers and the barbers, and now I'm hearing, one person told me something there, and I need to verify that, because the kind of money they tell me they had to go and pay, and not in the treasury, they had to pay it in another place, and so to be able to be certified as a hairdresser, I mean, something definitely up with that. So we're going to have to revisit that issue. I'm doing my investigations, but we will have to revisit that issue very soon, because I did see something come out recently which gave a new deadline for certification and so on of the barbers and the hairdressers and the people under allied healthcare, the masseuse and so on, the people that do the little braiding that are here on the beach and all sort of thing, for them to be certified. When they know, while they were saying that to these people, they did not have a proper system in place to certify the people. So you're having people have sleepless nights. You're telling them that they must operate under a system that was not yet even in place, and you were giving them deadlines while that system was not in place. So poor people, again, when you have the houses in Corinth still sitting empty, the houses in Carriacou still sitting empty, in Bujeju still sitting empty, the only thing there is stray dog and mosquito. That's the only thing in those places right now. The places that you heard the former Minister of Housing, Mr. Telesford, claiming that they were trying to get the people into the houses by December. Why they don't hold a press conference now and tell the Grenadian people why it is these people still are unable to occupy those houses. Were they afraid to come out and say it? They want the people themselves to come out and say it? Come out, tell the Grenadian people why it is that the people, because remember in Carriacou, you had people who already had permission to move into those houses, and that permission was taken back from them because they said wrong procedure was followed. But they take the person who was in charge of the wrong procedure and they give them a ministerial portfolio under their government now. So after they take back the houses from the people in Carriacou, who were given the houses under the new National Party administration, you say that wrong procedure was followed in the distribution of the houses. And now after they take back the houses, the same person who they say was in charge of that wrong procedure with the distribution, they give that person a ministerial portfolio, you know. That is how they operate. That the Prime Minister could say that you can't be beggy and be politician. But he had people that run on the campaign that was unemployed. They win, but they was unemployed. So them wasn't beggy. That is the same sort of thing. It, again, is one set of rules for them and a next set of rules for everybody else. So the poor people in this country are always the ones that are being made to pay the price of the NDC being able to come out and say, well, we do this and we do that. So if it's not telling some fishermen, you can't stay here again, you have to take your boat and go up Grand Mall. Fishermen, that's how the men make their living. Some of them been making their living from that area since the 1950s. You tell them they have to move. Okay, they have to move. You're beautifying the area. Okay, you're beautifying the area. But outside of some plank and some chain, we ain't see nothing really going on in that area up to now. But poor people again. Now you say, okay, around the island, if all you know, all you have all this stuff in those places that close to the road, all you better take it and bring it home because we go break it. And then some people say, well, they're beautifying. Yeah, you're beautifying. But at what cost? You just... So these people, livelihood don't matter. Just take your thing and go. We ain't care how you think with it after. That's your business. Just go. Yeah? But that's the sort of thing that is taking place. It's always look who benefited. $6 million to big business in Grenada. So reduction of the charge on the port. $6 million to big business. Not $6 million to people who really need it. Not $6 million to a youth program to help provide jobs and opportunity to young people. No, not $6 million into that. $6 million into the hand of big business in Grenada. Yeah? And then 20-something million into the hands of a company that paid 19 million US. Then they get what it is, 22 million. They pay 19 million EC. That is how much they put into Grenada. Then they get 20-something million US payment from this administration. Because this administration refused to continue its defense of the court case that these people brought against it. And who are the people that they had on the committee to make that decision? They had several people that were directly connected to the same company they were standing in judgment of. So you can't tell me you was the accountant doing the books of that company and that you had to make the decision as to whether or not to proceed with the court case and to just give these people 22 million US. But you was the accountant, the person who dealing with the money in the first place, you was the accountant. Something definitely had to be wrong with that. You can't be the person who was in charge of the bank that these people had all the money in. In other words, you have an interest in them having more money. Yeah? But yet you sit in judgment of whether or not that should continue. That had to be wrong. That had to be wrong. And these moves that they make are always to benefit people who have already. And the people who have a little bit, they're doing everything in their power to take it away from them. Up to this day, I'm still waiting to hear the cost-cutting measures in the 2024 budget that's going to lower the cost of food and medication for people in this country. Every time somebody walk into a pharmacy, they have to dip deeper and deeper into their pocket. Deeper and deeper into the bag. And some people dig so deep, but there's nothing inside there. So they have to leave the medication because they cannot afford it. And that's if the medication is there in the first place. So you have these situations that are taking place. And it's always that they're doing things to benefit them. So when you start to hear that the procurement procedures were not followed in relation to the awarding of contracts during the 50th independence celebrations, when you start to hear that, and you start to hear stories as though people who are on the committee have companies that benefited financially from the independence celebrations, when you start to hear that, other people who are friends, well-wishers, and hangers-on to the ruling elite, that these people form companies within the last few months to provide services for the independence celebrations, you have to ask yourself questions. That when the schools and them supposed to have their school treat, school treat, they usually get school treat. It's done through the government. And since Gary days, all of a sudden them things disappear. Yeah? But they find that is okay. That is nothing for them. According to Rootsman, that is nothing. Yeah? That is the way that they operate. Remember, their salary double. They could call it stipend. What is their salary double? They used to be going in with $7,000, now they're going in with 14. And that is before you talk about the 10 that they keep saying that they're going to give for constituency allowance to MPs. That once again, let me remind you, the new National Party did not receive. Let me remind you again, none of the members of the new National Party parliamentary team received any $10,000 for either for constituency fund or for the independence cleanup and decorations and so on. It did not happen. All right? 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to tonight's program. So again, be careful with the AI.
Everybody knows that many heroes has lived and died among us, but it's only after the dead and gone.
And again, 347-329-3101. That's the number for those of you in North America who are in the cold tonight. Yeah. Daria, good night to you. Cousin Ira, good night to you. Uncle Ba, good night. Good night. Margaret and Moulton, good night to you. So again, just in case they're just joining, I shall ask the government this question once again. Have you been hacked? There's nothing to be ashamed of or embarrassed of. You just come out and say if that's the case, yeah? And if there are bad actors out there, when I say bad actors, I mean hackers and so on that are out there that are demanding money from the government of Grenada to not lock down their files and so on. If that's the case, say so. Same way you could say other things, say that, yeah? Let people know, because remember, what is included there is a lot of our personal information is there. Yeah? A lot of our personal information is in the hands of the government. And therefore, if hackers have hacked into that system, then they've also gained access to a lot of our information. So therefore, we have a right to know, yeah?
Guilt on your conscience. After they dead and gone, what you do as they have no importance. So give me now instead.
As I said, they have a very good IT team in the government of Grenada. Hopefully, they'll be able to deal with the situation. Hopefully, if the situation that I'm hearing is true. So we're asking the question, eh?
Just give me flowers before I dead. Before I dead. Before I dead.
I'll leave with that again, man. Someone keeps telling me, they say, Sheldon, listen, instead of 500 houses, they get 500 drones. Because in a couple months, they're going to be 1,000 houses behind, eh?
Will you feed me now?
But again, in the same way that you see things taking place with other areas, you have to take a look at what's going on with the 500 houses.
When I finish my...
The promise was that they would construct 500 Grenadian-style houses per year. Fellow Grenadians, how many Grenadian-style houses have you seen, yeah?
Or you could wait till I starve to death.
They said what the Chinese do, they don't like what the Chinese do, and the Chinese this and the Chinese that, and all kind of thing they say. Well, let's see how many have they built since then, yeah?
Heroes too, yeah. The selfless sacrifices we make for a total stranger's sake. The ones we take for granted and we never appreciate. After they gone to the great beyond, you know that it is too late. So leave no stone unturned. No effort must.
So we want to know.
To give me flowers before.
Has government been hacked? And if so, how bad is it? Is it one department, one ministry? Is it across all ministries? Is it the financial information? What taking place? We need to know, yeah. Again, 440-7377. Let me make sure. Hey, what do you tonight? Hey.
Give me.
Everybody asking for the WhatsApp up. I get the WhatsApp up. A little call in. All right. And all I would say, I'm getting so many messages now. Yeah. All I would say is just be careful. The main thing is always be careful when you're online. Just be very careful online. Do not click on links just like that. Make sure you know what it is that you're going to click on. Yeah, if you think it's suspicious, there's no need to click on it. Ask the person what they send for you there. Yeah?
I know we got to make it.
And sometimes not even that does help because they may have clicked on something they shouldn't click on and it automatically sent to you.
Cause like politicians would have no solution.
So let the people know if people's information is exposed, and so I think people have a right to know, yeah.
Taking back we communities, taking back all the industries, building back all.
As I said, I did hear from the CSIRT a few mornings ago that there has been a serious security breach. A lot of people's personal information is out there. It's in the hand of hackers. And one of the regional or international agencies sent the information to Grenada and say, hey, these people's accounts and so have been compromised. These are the passwords and the login credentials and so on, so people could sign in from other places as them. Also, some people's banking information was sent to the CSIRT. Yeah, they have your credit card number, and you know the number it does have behind, where you could type in to make a purchase. They actually have that. In many instances, they have that information, right? So that is why CSIRT has been saying that you all need to change your passwords, update your stuff, and that sort of thing. You don't want to go signing in, and when you're trying to sign in, you realize that you cannot get into your account, so you can't watch your talking points, or you can't watch your classroom or your buzz program. You can't watch your Simon Says.
Give them the power. We give them the.
So make sure you get that sorted, yeah? Change your passwords and things. Change them.
Give them the power. We give them the power to make it right. We give them the power.
again, I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me what it is that this government has done in general for poor people. Yeah, you go and you increase the minimum wage, right? And it was done in such a way. Now, I'm glad people get an increase in the minimum wage. You're working for X amount. Now you can't work for under $1,200. I love that. No problem with that. It is not what is done sometimes, but it is how it is done. Because even today, I was hearing from business people that are having a problem if you have a business and you have X amount of people working with you and you cannot afford to pay them because you don't have enough business coming in on a normal period, maybe around peak periods like Carnival or Christmas or so on, when people are shopping according to the area that you're in, or around Easter time according to the type of business that you're into, yeah, or tourist time according to the type of business you're into, you may be able to afford having that volume of staff, but outside of that, you may not be able to afford it. And there are some businesses that have been telling me that they had to put some staff on rotation. In other words, they have to give, instead of you getting a full month, you get a 2 weeks and the other persons get a 2 weeks. Just because they don't want to get rid of them totally. So some people get 2 weeks and then they go home, 1 week in, 1 week out. Or they get a straight 2 weeks and the other people get a straight 2 weeks. Or you get 1 week in, 1 week out, 1 week in, 1 week out. And that is what some businesses have had to be doing. Yeah? So it is not what you do, but it is how you do it as well. But then again, all of that to cover because you're doubling your salary. So you had to do things to placate other people and so while you double your salary, ain't it? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, and we give them the power. We give them the power. Oh, yo, yo.
Good night to my good friends up there in Northeast. Let me ask a question to all you up in Northeast dinner, specifically all you up in the Mount Gay area. I thought that bus stop was supposed to be completed come January. We now on the 13th of February and I find like work stall, I ain't find no work take it. What going on? The famous bus shed. Yeah. You remember the famous bus shed up there in Mount Gay? I find all the work done on that. I ain't find nothing taking place again there. All of a sudden I realize like work stall. Yeah, I ain't seen nothing taking place with that bus shed, and we was hearing that it was a lot of things we was hearing was supposed to be ready in January during budget presentation and all kind of thing. All of a sudden we realize that those things are not materializing, you know. Instead of 500 houses, you get 500 drones. Yeah, that's what my listeners say. They say instead of 500 houses, we got 500 drones.
We give them the power to make it right. We give them the power. They turn wrong and use the power to fight. We give them the power to rule, not to make us fools. No wonder they're riding we backs like mules. It's we who give them the power. We give them the power. We give them the.
Yeah, I thought when I saw a release coming out about we go and we move the fence and we putting up bus shed, I thought bus shed was coming, but I realized like bus shed stall. Where's the situation? BJ, you know what going on? Tell me, BJ, what going on with that bus shed up there? I ain't know, man. You might know. You might have more info than me, brother.
Give them the power.
Or 1 minute you hear bus shed building, next minute you
Hey, they say Grenada had a revolution.
did lawsuit and all kind of thing pass. I know if it's lawsuit, I know if it's dress suit, I know what it is that passed there, but something passed, eh?
Benefit from the revolution. And what a revolution.
Remember the Molyneux Road was supposed to be ready in January too, you know.
Bishop said we should not give up.
Gosh, they mobilizing and implementing again, something going wrong.
For a little nation, why so much segregation? And if we can't have integration, we take agriculture. We taking back we roots and culture. We taking back all infrastructure. Building back we own empire.
Yes, and we have a call online. Good night.
Good night.
Hi,
Also
good night.
pull brakes on that, man.
Hey?
The owner of the land pull brakes on that bus stop.
But I thought it was supposed to be ready in January and they went and break down fence and thing.
The shop can't even open. We mark brakes on that.
We papa. Well, I thought what there was Bajan, the way I see they go and the thing and they...
Yep. Because I'm open, we might not say anything anyhow.
Well, I see fence breakdown and all kind of things, so I say, well, Bajan in town. Yeah, when I see the fence go down, I say, nah, well, Bajan in town, you can't
I told the minister got to pay some money.
Well, I'm hearing a story about lawsuit and who get served and all kind of thing within the last week. I don't know. I hearing who get served in relation to that matter because I hear a lot of stories in relation to that bus shed, man.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of stories in relation to that bus shed. Could be interesting. Could be very interesting because there was a post by the minister that said as of January the bus shed would be completed. Yeah. Now we realize that is not the case.
I don't know if the case finished yet. I know the case finished yet.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Fine, I'm from Bird.
What else is going on up there in the Northeast, man?
All right.
How are things going in the Northeast?
Yeah.
No, I'm asking how are things going in the Northeast? That's what I was asking. Okay, it seems as though he's gone. Yes, my good friend up there. And folks, as it was mentioned there, and somebody just messaged me again to remind you all, there was a concerted effort over the past couple weeks to get a lot of people registered. That effort was not being done by the New National Party. That effort was taking place by the National Democratic Congress and the activists. They have been pushing a lot of people, especially people that came in from the diaspora, to get registered. Yeah? Now remember, on election day, the person with more votes in the box is the person that wins, eh? If the other person have one more vote than you, one, as Wellington Friday had back in 1972 elections it was, up in St. Patrick East, he had one more vote. Who knows, that could be somebody that the other person get vexed. I think the other person was Mr. Winston White. You never could tell that maybe somebody, Mr. Winston White, that get vexed on the same day and he just decided, I ain't voting for that man and I'm voting for the next one. And lost. Yeah? So it is important for each and every one of you. Don't be listening to this program every night. And when the time comes to vote, you are not registered. Because again, the date of election is set by the current Prime Minister. He decides when he's going to call an election. Then he goes to the Governor General, he dissolves Parliament, and he calls a general election. With your nomination day, your day for special polling for the police and so, and then your day for the full vote. Right? So, due to that, it's important for all of us to be ready all the time. I've seen activists of the National Democratic Congress going to Canada, going to the US, going to the UK, and encouraging those who are returning to Grenada to register to vote for the National Democratic Congress. Yeah? So it's important to register. Those of you that are here, make sure that you are registered, but not just you. Make sure you get your family registered. But that's not all you have to do. You also have to remember all those who have strayed away. All those who may have gone. I've been speaking to a lot of people that people might say, oh, they support NDC the last time, and why you talking to this one, and why you talking to that one, and that one they turn on us, and no. You need them to come home. And you can't get them to come home if you're cussing them every minute. If you're cussing them, every minute and say, well, all you do that and all of this. You're cussing them, you're pushing them away. Yeah? And you need them to come home. Many of them have honestly realized that they made a mistake. I was talking to one. They said traditionally they always voted NNP. But this last time, they made a decision and they went and they voted for the NDC. And that is one of the worst decisions. I'm not saying what I'm saying. They're saying that's one of the worst decisions they ever made in their life. They're sorry. If they could go back in time, they're changing their vote. Because not only did they lose their job and their business and all kind of thing. Yeah? But their situation, where they knew under a new National Party government, the economy generated income. So that there was a constant inflow of income for people at all levels. That this government only making sure the money circulate among them and their friends. So you can't get these people to come back. If we keep cussing them and chasing them, you can't cuss them and chase them. Yes, they made a mistake. Every one of us make mistakes in life. It don't have one of us that is a human being that has not made a mistake, that has not made an error. In life, all of us make errors. All of us make mistakes. So we cannot just push people away. Yes, you know your neighbor always used to support NNP. Two all used to go on the bus together to rally. Two all used to walk together and go to the village meeting. But the last time around, they changed and they went and they voted for the NDC. You can't just keep them in mind. At heart, they're still a supporter of the new National Party, you know. And you hear what I'm saying? At heart, they're still a supporter of the new National Party. So you can't get them to come back by pushing them away. You have to get them to come back to the party. And you have to make sure that you are registered. You have to make sure that your children are registered. You have to make sure that your workmates are registered. You have to make sure if you're an employer, make sure your employees are registered. You have to make sure that all the people around you that you have contact and influence with, that they are registered. I'll use an example. I was out for an election in another Caribbean territory. While I was out for that election, there was one particular young lady used to follow the bandwagon everywhere. That is, you know, every campaign and every constituency have somebody that usually like a flag woman. That's the person that will take the party flag and wave it and be in front when the truck going down the road, they're in front, and so they ringing bell, everything they in front. That was this individual. Everywhere, all parts of that island that you went to campaign, that individual was there. Yeah? Even on their birthday. Even on their birthday, when other people might have said, well, tonight I ain't going out to rally and thing, I'm going on. No, they came out. They said that there's no birthday thing. I'm going out to the party, and they went out all over. Election day, Juke Jody. They don't register, you know. They can't vote. It said to me two things. It said that the campaign itself didn't do its work properly. Or they would have known. They just took it for granted that that person was registered. They just took it for granted. They're always there with us. They're all over with us. Needless to say, the candidate lost. And why did they lose? Because they did not do their homework. We have a situation here where we may see funny names just popping up in constituencies that they don't live. The law says that you must be living within that constituency for 1 year before you are registered as an elector in that constituency. But you might have people that may come from other places, may not even have been in Grenada for the last 20, 30 years, and they are now registered in a constituency, and it's not even the constituency they're from or they own property or they're in. But you know how you find out that? You don't look to find out that a few days before election. You don't look to find out that the week before election and you go file a petition. You run into the court now with a petition to say, well, these people don't live in this constituency. That's nonsense. Nonsense. And any constituency doing that, prepare to lose. Because you ought to know, if it is people that have been placed on the final list that were not there before, and these people appear on the final list, and when you double check, these 20 or 30 or 100 or 200 people have no right to be electors in that constituency, then you file your papers and you run and you do what you have to do. But all now, you should be going through the list for the people who have died, for the people who have migrated, they've gone for how much years, they've never been back, and so. Yeah? And for other people who you know for a fact do not live in the constituency. So you can't be living in Grenada. You doesn't even go up country except every other month or so you might go up. But you're registered up there. No. And how do you find that out? By you doing the work and checking the voters list. Making sure that you are registered. Because you can't be looking for everybody else and checking everything. And then when come time for you now, you ain't registered. Don't worry, I'll go do it next week. I've seen that many elections here in Grenada and other places, you know. Don't worry, man, I'll go do it next week. Don't worry, I'll go do it next week. Don't worry, I'll go do it next week. And then, boom, election call, they can't vote. They're not registered. Or the prime minister in whichever country calls the election and gives 24 hours or 48 hours to get registered. And they have to go and rush and stand up in line and crying and cussing and all kind of thing. All you wicked, and he call election at the last minute and all this kind of thing. Yeah? So we need to ensure that we are registered, that we get our people registered, that the people who stray away from home, that we bring them back home. Home is where the heart is, not in the NDC. Because if they had a heart, they would not be doing the things that they have been doing to people. Because to me, they operate like a group of people that realize, hey, it's one term we go in, so let we eat it and drink it well, because we know we ain't going back inside there. So let we take as much as we could get right now. To me, that's how they operating. I'm saying it plain. That's how they operating. You ain't care about nobody, we ain't care about this, we ain't care about, let me just eat and drink as much as we could get. Because you know NNP. NNP ain't staying in opposition 2 times in a row. They know that. So they are operating under that pretext. But to ensure the victory, we must be vigilant. We must be registered. Don't take it for granted. Even my name, check the voters list and see. Say, Sheldon talking all the time. Let me check the voters list and see if he named there. Do it. You must ensure. Don't take it for granted that anybody's. I told you all the story, you know. That campaign, they never checked this young lady name. She everywhere with them. During the day, she out campaigning with them. In the night, she out painting street and painting and putting up posters and everything. In the night time. The daytime she out, nighttime she out. Everywhere they have activity. There, election day she can't vote. So she could not contribute to try and save the candidate that she said she loves so much. Or contribute to the party that she says she loves so much. Or contribute to maintaining the party in power who she knew that that party had the ability to run their country properly. She wasn't able to contribute because she couldn't vote. And that's what counts on the election day. Votes in the box. And when the day come, don't I go and vote later. I will go and vote later. I will go and vote. When it starts to fall, you decide you can't go and stand up in here. You can't take. No, go and vote early. Get it out of the way. Yeah? Because there are obstacles that may be placed in your way on the day. So you have to make sure that you are registered and make sure that you get all those who can be and should be registered. If I have to come and take a 10 minutes or 15 minutes every night and say it, because the voters list increased by a significant margin. I can't remember the figures right now. One of my friends sent it to me. It increased by a significant margin. It went from 70-something thousand, I think, to 80-something thousand now. between the election and now, if I'm remembering correctly, it was 70-something thousand, now it's over 80. There's a significant increase in the number of registered voters, or is it 80-something and it's gone up? I can't remember the figures off the top of my head right now. But there's been a significant increase in the number of voters registered. To my NNP colleagues out there, those of you out in the constituencies, can you honestly say that the vast majority of those people that are registered, that you had a hand in bringing them, that you had a hand in ensuring that these people are registered and that they're ready? Do you know who these people are? If you say in your particular constituency 500 people are new people are registered, do you feel comfortable that the vast majority of those people, that you and your team registered them? Or is it that we just mouth champion? Yeah, don't worry, we're doing the work. Because some people do it the last election, you know. Some people do that the last election. Don't worry, man, we have it covered. We're getting people registered and so on. Meanwhile, you see the NDC passing with truck, they passing with van, they passing with car. The only thing I don't see they pass with is donkey cart with people on it going to register. And other people's, the NNP people in the constituency sit down. Don't worry, man, we have it covered, man. We people registered already. Your people registered already? Your people was registered already, then what happened election day? Bus passing, car passing, truck passing. Full NDC, bringing people to go and register. NNP sit down there. Don't bother them, we people registered already. Don't bother them, we people registered already. We're seeing the result of that, isn't it? So we have to ensure that we get our people registered. We have to make sure we know where our people are. We have to get ourselves together. Yeah? And that is why Dr. Mitchell continually says that the structure of the party on the ground needs to be strengthened. There is a structure, but it needs to be strengthened throughout the country. Yeah? Folks, I'm going to take it here. That's all the time we're going to have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. And of course, in whatever you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you and definitely not about you. All right? And tomorrow night from 8 p.m. once again, we will be having more Talking Points for you. All right? And I believe in the morning, Master Carl, and so they'll be on with the Wednesday edition of their program. You have Mr. Pierre. He's going to be on from 12, and then Prince is going to be on tomorrow, God's willing, from 6 p.m. All right, and then of course Talking Points tomorrow night from 8 p.m. All right, so that's about it for me. I am out.
All in the frame with the right man, yes. Fire for fire, man. Sing it. Good guy. Good guy. Good guy. Just because I sing in few calypso, all kind of wrong things what me people know. First they know some walking to one driving. Rumors all over about me they spreading. But I want them know that I'm conscious is just ain't bread. And no way hypocrites like them could ever frustrate my head. So to all those who like rumor, here is more to say about teller. Cause it's me who kill Bishop and mash everything up. Die on the treasury and thief all the money. So look, you hear me? Sky me down, cause I like it, sky me down. Sky me down, oh God, it's some sweet, sky me down. Sky me down, all them hypocrite, sky me down. Sky me down, tell them. Good God. Cost of living here keep rising daily. Unemployment rampant in this country. Prostitution is a priority. Up to now that them bullets can see. But of course they come out to distract me with their cheap limits. Man, even my children mother